What's up, party people? Once again, Darvin Ham is causing controversy, and so is LeBron James with another injury. So, without further ado, I'm Jaya Tewari with Lakers Digest, and I'm here to talk about Darvin Ham and LeBron's injury update. Let's get into it. So, first of all, let's talk about Darvin Ham's rotations once again. I am so sick of this topic and having to constantly discuss what he is doing. Literally, what is he doing? Oh my god, he's tanking our season right now. Our season is just feeling like such a missed opportunity overall. We have somehow 39-year-old LeBron still in his prime and so many other talented players, and Ham keeps messing it up. Like a few days ago, we played the Kings and lost to them. And during that game, the starters came out, beat the C word, I can't say that because of YouTube monetization, beat the C word out of them, as in the Kings, and then never played together again. They only had 5 minutes together the entire night. Our starters only had played 5 minutes together at the beginning of the game. I don't understand how our coach is letting this happen while consistently giving playing time to players, Taurean Prince, that just don't deserve it. Why are we not consistently playing our starters? I feel like I'm going insane trying to argue for this. And then it is no secret that other players are frustrated with this. I've talked about so many times how Rui Hachimura has been incredibly underutilized and how you can literally see in his face how confused he is and how dejected he is feeling. You've also recently been able to see LeBron's feelings towards Ham. He's also not even trying to hide it. If you watch LeBron during timeouts, you can just see him sitting there super solemnly staring off into the void and completely ignoring Ham and disengaging with the team entirely. Seeing our star players act like that is just so awful. And then on top of it, you have Ham just, again, sidelining players. I already mentioned Roy, but also D'Angelo Russell. He benched D'Angelo for so long when D'Angelo is now one of the top 10 in Lakers history for single season threes. He is literally going down in Lakers record books, and somehow Ham is just disregarding him entirely. I don't know what is going on or what Ham is doing. It feels like this is just a constant battle between the players and the fans against Darvin Ham, and it is just so painful to watch. We have the talent, we have the skill set to be able to be better, but instead we're fighting for a 9th place seed, which, by the way, I don't think we're going to drop below 10th. We're way too far ahead of the Jazz and the Rockets to drop to 11th or 12th even, but I still think that we shouldn't even be fighting for the 9th seed with the Warriors right now. Like, we should not be worried about the play-in tournament and qualifying for playoffs right now. Like, I'm just so angry, and then our games have just been so inconsistent because Ham is not consistent, and it's just blowing my mind that we have not fired him yet. And so I was kind of doing some digging into why we haven't fired him and what is going on. And right now, sneak peek. Right now, it looks like the factor that is saving Ham from getting fired is his contract. So right now, he has 2 years left. We have 2 more years of this because he's running through the 2025 to 2026 season as coach, which also does Rob Pelinka, who is an entirely separate matter. But right now, Jeannie Buss has already going back in time, I'm getting so heated, I'm like foaming my words and getting ahead of myself. But if we look to our past coaches, Jeannie Buss already paid Luke Walton and Frank Vogel to basically break their contracts and not coach the team. And so we have a ton of multiple years of dead money on the books for Ham, which means that essentially Jeannie doesn't want to have to waste all of that money just to have Ham not coach. And when we look at it from Pelinka's case, firing Ham would be an admission that in a matter of 5 seasons, he went from passing on hiring Lou for Vogel to firing Vogel for Ham and just getting worse with every decision. Pelinka usually plays it pretty safe, but this is a pretty tough track record to ignore, and I strongly agree. I'm generally a big fan of Jeannie Buss. I was super happy when she took over and thought she was doing a great job, but it's getting really hard to watch her as an owner and someone who has been a great leader to kind of keep people on like this. And for Pelinka, who also is just his tainting his legacy, we should fire Ham if we are worried about the money and having to pay him off for the rest of his couple years of his contract. That is just a ridiculous excuse because we're wasting LeBron's twilight years and just losing way more money in marketing and fan value. If that is a concern, then it would be to keep Darvin Ham. I know that there's the argument of who do we hire instead. I don't care. Let LeBron coach for all that I care. I just need Ham gone, and luckily that is a pretty well understood sentiment amongst the entire Lakers fandom. We need our solid starters back in playing most of the game instead of just relying on one or two players. And again, just giving so many minutes to Taurean Prince. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's just, to me, like, incredibly, like, mediocre. He, dare I say, mid. And I don't understand why he's just getting so much playing time over people like D'Angelo and Roy and so much of our other players. Like, it just, watching the Lakers is so painful right now, especially as somebody who wants to make content on the Lakers and gas up my team online, and instead all I can do is make videos arguing about how our coach should be fired. So, Darvin Ham, please, can you quit at least? Maybe that's the strategy we should be going for. But anyways, going back to the kind of player side of things, right now, let's talk about, once again, LeBron James, now that I'm done screaming, and give a little injury update on his ankle. So like I said, because we haven't had a consistent rotation or, like, just anything, a lot of the team is being carried by LeBron, which is absurd. He's 39. Yes, he's still insane. Yes, he's just he already broke the all-time scoring record, but now he's just hitting 40,000 points like it's nothing in a game that we lost, by the way. But regardless, I am just so tired of whatever is going on with him as well, and him having to front or just carry the weight of all these other players when instead they should be supporting him, and he shouldn't just be taking on all of their kind of loads to play as well. But basically, as for his injury update, it actually looks like his ankle injury is something he's been dealing with pretty frequently. It wasn't a one-off injury. And basically, if you read through this, he basically is like, I'll be all right. It's just my ankle. I've been dealing with it since before the All-Star break and is just managing it the best way I can. There's no specific play that caused him discomfort. And he's just kind of like playing and sitting when he needs to, when it's kind of aggravating him. But it's basically just being caused by normal wear and tear for the 39-year-old James, who is in his 21st season. I know this point has been hammered down a million times, but he's inhuman. But anyways, James says that some games are better than others. Like, for example, in the game against the Thunder, he didn't feel it at all until the fourth quarter, so every game is kind of looking a little bit different on that front. Obviously, everybody's going to throw out all the conspiracies. He's faking this injury to protest him, which maybe, hey, if that works, I'll take it. But I don't know. I really just think he's old, and despite his inhuman levels of playing, he is 39, and his body is going to start to break down as much as none of us want it to. There's also obviously the arguments of he's just choking in the fourth quarter, and that's why it suspiciously acts up in the fourth. But again, I just think he's genuinely old, and he's playing way too much time, or way more time than he should be at his age. But of course, he's somehow able to do it, so he's going to keep having to. Because Darvin Ham won't make a good decision to take that load and pressure off of him. And then, unfortunately, he will be out tonight against the Bucks. I know this is going to cause many, many more conspiracies, but with that being said, there's your little update. I'm pretty sure I just screamed about Darvin Ham for 6 minutes, and LeBron's out tonight, and his injury is just something that's going to have to keep being managed, it looks like, for the rest of the season, and it's something that's reoccurring, which is just even more reason for our rotation to get set. So it's not, I'm just repeating myself so much. I'm sorry, guys. So basically, all of the pressure is not just on LeBron to carry us through. Even when we have players like D'Angelo coming in super clutch, they're not consistent enough to rely on. Anyways, I also want to end on a little joke by this Reddit commenter that made me laugh so hard, referring to his injury as L'Achilles heel. So let's hope that L'Achilles heel gets better, and so do Darvin Ham's rotations. With that being said, let's hope for a great game tonight, guys, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. A lot of you watch our videos and don't subscribe, and that makes me very sad. I've been Jaya Tewari with Lakers Digest, and I'll see you next time.